Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to Wake Up Charlotte to Go. This morning, we want to know, leave your comment below on, would you be willing to ride the Fury 325 at Carowinds now that it looks like the fixes are happening? Once they make
And you said this morning they have to ride it like 500 times before.
Yeah. 500 times.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Before they let it.
So it would be after that, before they open it.
I'm down. I actually feel safer now.
Yeah. So it might be the safest time. Yeah. So comment below, but we're talking about this because today that new beam is expected to make its way to Carowinds as crews work to repair Fury 325. That dramatic video made national headlines earlier this month. We've been talking about it on Wake Up Charlotte as folks on social media pointed out that cracked beam was unsafe for riders. We even heard the 911 call this morning. So Wake Up Charlotte's Tradesha Woodard joining us now as crews are already making some repairs after 2 weeks of inspections. Tradesha.
That's right, Sarah. Carowinds says every step of the process will be carefully monitored, from material installation to delivery. Today, a new beam is expected to get delivered at Carowinds to fix the cracked beam of Fury 325 after this viral video was shared, raising lots of concerns.
Thank God no one was injured.
There's a massive separation in the foundation on one of the first few turns.
Carowinds says their team will install the column, re-ensuring precise alignment and securely fastening the track connection. They say after the new support beam is installed, the ride will go through the park's standard safety protocol and a series of tests to ensure the ride's safety. The park plans to operate Fury 325 through 500 full cycles before asking a third-party testing firm to examine the coaster. And following those tests, Carowinds will also be meeting with the North Carolina Department of Labor for further evaluation. We'll be sure to keep you updated. Reporting live for Wake Up Charlotte to Go, I'm Tradesha Woodard.
All right, Tradesha, thank you. So we're asking you this morning, would you feel safe riding the ride? I guess I'll go first. Yeah, to Chris's point, I think this will probably be the safest it's probably ever been. Yeah. And I also like roller coasters, so I mean...
I'm not a huge
I'm shocked.
roller coaster. I mean, I will go on them. My daughter, my kids love them.
Yeah. Of course, they're too small at this point to go on something like that.
She did the one at Carowinds. It's like the boat that goes up and back and then swings around.
But the big roller coasters, they're just too...
Yeah, and we love...
Are you saying the boat is too scary for you?
I don't do that either. No, we stick to Camp Snoopy.
That is judging.
We stick to Camp Snoopy.
Like the big ones, like 325 or something. Like she didn't want to do those.
You know, and
the boat is too much for you.
But it goes upside down.
Yes, I don't think that one goes upside down.
Yes, it does.
Oh,
I watched her and my husband upside down. My little 7-year-old.
Like these rides?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, he's my third child.
Okay.
So yes.
We'll go to the amusement park.
Here's a question I have. We keep talking about this beam. I'd like to know where it's coming from. Is it coming by train? Is it coming by truck? Do we have shots of it? I mean, seriously, it's like, how big is it?
Yeah.
How much does it weigh? You know, all those things. I mean,
I know, it has to be massive.
Yes, really. I mean, I hope we have some pictures of that.
Of it arriving
That's a
today,
fascinating part of it right there. And then the process of erecting that to put it up and then the welding process. I mean, it's going to be fascinating to see that. Hopefully we have some video.
Well, if we see it.
How long has the Fury been?
Let's see, because I rode the first time maybe...
Last 10 years.
Yeah, in the past 10, maybe 8 years ago, something like that. Caroline, let's see. You and I rode the
different one. I don't
Copperhead Strikes. Copperhead Strikes.
Yeah. I remember when they opened that.
Yeah,
I
that's
remember
fun.
that.
That's a fun.
I think that's my favorite ride in the park.
Intimidator is intimidating, but
is that the big red one?
Yes.
We were trying to figure out the name of that.
Yeah, the big red one.
I was just there for Mother's Day, and I rode the Fury 325, and then, of course, was terrified to see the story. But, I mean, it just depends. Carowinds, reasonably so, has been a little tight-lipped about the process and, all the details, which makes sense.
That's probably we don't know where it's coming from.
Exactly.
Is it coming by train and put on a... I'd just like to know that the process of getting that beam there and then erecting it, putting it up in place.
Our producer said open in March of 2015.
So 8 years. Look at you.
There you go.
There you go.
Wow.
It's been around.
Joy saying,
you nailed it. Good job.
I'll never ride roller coasters because I get motion sickness.
That would be a good reason.
Don't eat before you go on one of these. That's the main thing.
Well, so I think we've been, obviously, since we've been covering this for like what feels like weeks now. I mean, some people did say that, the first inspection clearly was not as effective as it should have been. So why feel safe now? I think that's a valid question.
Well, I mean, the first inspection, you talking about when it would open?
Well, they do the morning
the continual inspections.
Yeah. And
I wish they would install cameras focused in on those joints. Maybe that's what they'll do, so they can see it visually every day.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, and I think this is going to change because usually for the inspections, they're inspecting the seat belts, the cars, the comings and goings. They probably just don't have the resources because if they had to check every single joint of each roller coaster, they physically couldn't be able to do it.
Or use a drone to fly over.
Because I do think their credit, I mean, this is not something that you typically, I think, anticipate happening. You know,
Right.
you do want to check all the seats and the seat belts
and a steel beam.
And a steel beam. I mean, like, you know, who anticipates something like that happening?
Scary.
At the same time, they're responsible for the ride, making sure it's safe. You know, if we're all going.
Did you see those guys climbing up? Imagine that. It's a very. I've seen that. It's a very narrow walkway up to the top there.
Yeah.
So they can't. They can't do that every day. I mean, that's a long process to get to the top up there.
But you did see the crack from that video from the parking lot.
Yeah.
Like, how long was it going that? Melissa saying, I get motion sickness too, but I still ride them.
Way to go.
See, I don't get the motion sickness. I mean, I do get, like, of course, the little, like, jumping your belly when you get the big dips. But, this makes me a little scared. Even still, though, I think we did, like, a verify saying, like, I mean, you're more likely to get struck by lightning, you know, than dying on a roller coaster. So I don't know if that helps any of y'all.
It does. And it must affect Carowinds, too, because their biggest attraction has been shut down. Like, that's what people look forward to.
In the summer.
In the summertime,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so they're probably as ready as anybody to get it fixed. A lot of pictures
there
right
it
there.
is,
You see it. And that big drop.
It's so good.
Imagine going up a walkway to the very top of that thing.
No, thank you.
I can't do it.
Wow.
So Sarah, you don't like that drop?
No.
Have you ever been? There's another ride called the Drop Zone, which is a tower that just the bottom drops out. You go all the way to the bottom for the top.
Yep.
Well, I have done the Tower of Terror.
It's about a 10-story drop.
I did it.
I think we should do a story where, Sarah, you go on all these rides.
I mean, I've done them. I can do them. I just
Don't enjoy them.
Do you close your eyes?
I would rather
You
go
don't. You close your eyes.
stick to Camp Snoopy.
I remember
I'd rather see the shows at Carowinds.
I think
Great shows.
my mom I consider as tough as nails, but I can remember the first time I think I ever saw her cry. I was a little boy. We were at Cedar Park up in in Toledo, Ohio, and we got on the corkscrew, which goes like a corkscrew, and she got off and she was bawling. I was a little boy, 4 or 5. I'm like, "What's wrong, Mommy?" And she's like, "I hate those things." And so, and like I said, my mom's tough, and I was like, "Wow, okay." I can remember at a young age, be like, "Christ, some people do not enjoy this. Like it just does, and it's not even like a fun not enjoy. It's like I hate it."
Like
traumatized.
traumatized.
And going back kind of to Melissa and Joy, I don't think I ever used to get motion sickness, but I will say after I had my second kid and we went to Carowinds and I went on one of the rides with them, I was like, I'm going to be so sick. It was the one that like went around and around. I was like, I can't do that ride anymore because I was getting so motion sickness.
Those roundabout ones, though, really shake you up
They
more
do.
than the up and down roller coasters.
Oh, man.
But
I love the spinny ones.
Ben, bringing up your point where you said Cedar Point, since this is a giant company and we both lived in Ohio, there's Cedar Point and Kings Island, and I used to go to Kings Island all the time. It's just north of Cincinnati. What's crazy is they have the Diamondback there. It's the exact same setup as the Intimidator here. Yeah. So it's really cool going to that park, and I almost felt like, hey, I'm still at home because they the same rides with different names as well.
Owned by Cedar Fair.
But the Fury is very unique to Carowinds for its design.
It is fast.
All right, folks, chime in. Let us know. Well, of course, we'll keep you posted throughout the day about how those sort of efforts go.
Yeah.
Maybe all 5 go down. And
Why not?
Sarah.
There you go.
I already did mine.
We'll see you back here for a Friday edition of Wake Up Charlotte to Go.
Bye, everybody.